Okay, in Maple, I'm going to start a new document. And I highly recommend you do that. If you get into the worksheet mode, you're going to have a lot of headaches for typing up your homework. Worksheets are great for computing things, but if we want to just do a document and kind of type up our work like a Word document, we want to do document. So up at the top of the screen here, if you go to View Palettes, and then you can choose particular palettes to open, and these palettes will be visible along the left-hand side of your screen. You can open up, excuse me, Show All Palettes. And so if you do that along the left-hand side of the screen, you've got lots of items here available. Now, I recommend leaving open. Operators can be good. There's expressions, those are quite common, you know, square roots and whatnot. Calculus, if you're in a calculus class, that can be good. Common symbols is quite good. And what we're going to need for our example right here is called layout. So I'm going to choose this first one, the third one over, A sub I, and I'm going to let A sub I equal curly bracket I comma I plus 1. And if I want to make that all one color, I could do that here. Okay, now notice that I'm in math mode. If I hit enter, Maple's going to try to compute something. I don't want that to happen. That's really bothersome in my screen. So I'm going to delete that. And before I hit enter at the end of that line, I'm going to click back to text mode, and then we can hit enter with no problems. Now, in question 1.40, we've got a set A sub I, and we want to determine the union as I equals 1 to 5. So I'm going to do a similar example here. Suppose I wanted to type in the union as I goes from 1 to 3. So I clicked on the fourth item over here in the layout, and I'm going to select the union symbol for the subscript down there at the bottom. I'll do I equals 1. And up here at the top, I'll do 3. So I is going to run from 1 to 3. And so this is telling me do the union over the following items. A sub I. Okay, what does that mean? Well, that's equal to the union of A sub I, where I equals 1. So let's type a 1 down there, with A sub 2, union with A sub 3. Right, that's just what that big notation there in the front says. Let me just add a little space here to kind of highlight that. The union as I goes from 1 to 3 of A sub I is just simply A1 union A2 union A3. Okay, let's write this out. So A1, if I look up here with the definition of A sub I, it's curly brackets. In this first example, I equals 1, so we're going to go 1 comma 2. Union A sub 2. Okay, now I is 2, so that's curly brackets 2 comma 2 plus 1, so that's going to be curly bracket 2 comma 3. Union A sub 3, and that's going to be 3 comma 4. So now we're just down to a union question, trying to find the union of all these sets. It's simply going to be 1, 2, 3, and 4, and that would be the final answer here.